I guess it's me, Xianyun Dragon, and today's video is about Xianyun post-release review. As usual in here, I will cover about the positive and negative, what I like and I don't like, and the build recap, and I will give my thoughts about this character in the end. So let's start first with things that I like or positive about Xianyun. First, she is plunge attack buffer and can make everyone jump. And when I remember they announced Xianyun, people like focus or centered only into like it's a buffer for Xiao. They don't think others. Let's majority say it's buffer for Xiao, but they don't realize it's not only like focus on punch buffer, but it can make everyone can jump finally, so they can technically become Xiao itself. So if the characters have a good scaling in plunge and their motion like pretty much fast in doing plunging, then they kind of were to consider to utilize with Xianyun. One of them is like Utao and Dialog, something like that. And second, this is still the continuation because her gimmick is about plunge attack and can make everyone can jump. Then it's like it's force or not force. Like if you want to utilize this buff, then you have to use plunge, right? So it's indirectly or directly for you, it will change your playstyle. For me, it's actually changing playstyle is such a better, and I will consider it's fun because the day one player already kind of tired with Genshin routinity. When finally you can try something feels different, it's actually feel fun again, at least for me in here. And third, actually still continuation, which is she unlocks some of the funny or even actually works like good in Team Com itself. So if you already know like the Dialog Dragon Strike right now, it's a thing, right? Dialog actually getting a quite good buff. Utao right now in C0. To be honest, for me, it's become a lot more fun compared before. I have to do like charge attack, jump cancel. Oh my god, that's so annoying. Now we just like charge attack and just do plunge. It's actually very fun. And I try a couple of funny team like Yae plunge and it works. Like Yanfei plunge that you're supposed to do charge attack, it works. And there's some like Alhitum plunge. I do Nafio plunge, although it's not synergized, but it works. Hey, that's funny, but it works. Chi plunge with Chongyun. Oh my god, that actually works. And I feel like this is actually funny, ridiculous, but actually works. And I think this is a good positive that Xianyun bring in Team Com. And the last one, she is a good healer for Furina because we know Furina is top of the character that you need actually couple specific healer to match with her kit. So right now actually that very fit, of course, like Jin, Baiju usually the top tier. And now we can consider the top tier one is Xianyun. And let's talk about things that I don't like or negative. First, after so many times using her, I feel like she's relatively dependent on certain character. Like the value of this character actually depends on what you have. Let's say you have Furina, then the value of Xianyun will be very high because it will match with Furina, and usually most of the team com with Xianyun will hit Furina. So because of that, Xianyun value is usually high, that make it kind of worthy for you to pull. Or even like C6 Bennett, if you have that, the worthy of Xianyun can become good. Or maybe you have Futa or Dil. But if you don't have some of these character, or at least that character cannot really synergize well with plunge, then Xianyun contribution is kinda like lacking. And at the worst case, you only treat as a Jin, right? So it loses a lot of value. And most of the team, if you want to feel it's actually great or feels actually kinda upgrade, then you kinda need Furina. If without Furina, at the worst case, you will feel like, yeah, it works, but this plunge attack team will feel like either worse from their usual team or either like just about side grade. And second, just because I already mentioned before that she's type of a character that depend on what you have, and I think this is not really great for a new player that especially don't really have so much selection in your character. I don't think they will give you so much impact, especially it force you to do like plunge attack and you're just new. In that, maybe you don't have any card that synergize, let's say Furina, you don't have maybe Bennett yet, then I don't think it will give you so much impact for you. Maybe at the best only exploration and as a healer, but other than that, nothing really so significant. Because I feel like Cloud Retainer or Xianyun is type of character that mostly is like to give you change of vibe. But as a character that to give you impact in upgrade, not really. It doesn't mean that I say Xianyun didn't provide like any team becomes better. There are some of them, but it's not much. Majority, mostly like only side grade or just like for fun to utilize this plunging. And lastly, Xianyun doesn't have any crowd control. This is not really like 100% bad, but it's actually a nice addition if she can have. So because of that, it's kind of bad on the situation where you need crowd controlling, where the enemy separated, or team that really need like crowd control because maybe they don't have so much big area, let's say freeze in Ayaka, then maybe in Ayaka team in here you will suffer because you cannot group because Xianyun doesn't have this feature. Now let's talk about Xianyun build. So let's start first with the 5-star weapon. Of course, the best one is the Crane Echoing Call that gives you attack as a stat, and also you will get like more plunging buff, which is good. You will also get energy, which is good for Xianyun itself. Not only that, if you want to equip another 5-star, Memory of Dust also not bad, just because the stat gives you attack, but of course the effect not really that great. And lastly is Skyward Atlas, still pretty much decent because the stat gives you attack and gives you increase in elemental damage bonus, which is good for your Xianyun. So that's the only 3 that I think good for Xianyun itself for the 5-star. For the 4-star weapon for Xianyun, there's a couple of them that good. The best one is Orthworn Eye, but unfortunately this weapon is event only, so if you already missed the event, there's no way to get it back. So hopefully they will have rerun or at least a way for you to get it back, because the effect is good. The subset give you attack percentage, like it's matched with Xianyun scaling. The effect will increase your energy recharge after using elemental skill, which will help you easier to maintain 100% of her elemental burst, which is very crucial because Xianyun elemental burst is very important because that's where the buff come from. And then other than that, the one that's accessible for even free to play, which is Flowing Purity, that's craftable, so everyone can get this. And the subset also good, gives you attack percentage, and the effect also good, give you elemental damage bonus. But alternatively, you can use also Favonius Codex because the substat give you energy recharge, so that means also that you don't need much later energy recharge in your artifact sets or like substat or main stat. And also the effect also good, can help energy recharge for your team if you are lacking too. And let's move into artifact sets. The best one is very decent Fenrir, because usually this set's very good for animal support. 2-piece give you animal damage bonus, good for her personal damage. 4-piece, it will increase the swirl damage and also decrease the elemental resistance. This is where actually that very good as a supporter, and she is animal, so you can utilize this. So that's why I really recommend to just go this 4-piece. And other alternative, if you really don't have yet a solid 4-piece, then you can actually go, depends on what your purpose. If you just want to focus on healing, then you can just go with the Song of the Day pass, because the 2-piece will increase healing bonus. 4-piece also will help you to get some buff. Alternatively, if you just want to focus on buff the plunge attack, then you can go for 2-piece that gives you attack percentage in here. So one of the example, which is 2-piece of Gladiator Finale and 2-piece of Seminawa Reminiscence, and that can work too. If you just care mostly about support, then you can still use a viable one, which is Noblesse Oblige. 2-piece gives you elemental burst damage, and 4-piece the one that you mostly want to utilize as a support, which is if you use elemental burst, the party attack will increase by 20%. This is still pretty okay for Xianyun. And for the artifact main sets, let's start first with the Sense. For the Sense, usually priority is attack percentage. However, if you feel like you lack of energy recharge, then you can go for energy recharge in here. Later, I will discuss how many energy recharge that she needs. But in general, if you feel already enough energy recharge, just go for the attack percentage in here. As for the Goblet, just focus also on attack percentage. And for the Circlet, is just focus also on attack percentage. Basically, it's just triple attack. Maybe some alternative, if you want to focus on healing, then you can go actually for healing bonus, but it's not really recommended because it will kinda nerf her plunge buff. For the subset for Xianyun, there's nothing much that you should focus, just prioritize first energy recharge and attack percentage or attack flat stat. And energy recharge requirement for Xianyun is actually also depends for the teams that you also pair. But in general, usage at the worst to the good case, then I think just safe spot, just get around 180% to 200%. As for the early Constellation or Weapon, actually I already talked in Visual Pool Edition, you can check for the detail. But in short, if you go for C2, then it's equal for the Weapon. But if you just only want to plan to go for C1, then just aim for the Weapon. So that's everything about her build recap, and let's talk lastly about my opinion about Xianyun itself, or mostly my experience about Xianyun. So I feel like Xianyun as a character is actually quite unique because it's finally a character that can make everyone can jump. And I feel like in terms of performance, she's better than I thought, or at least from what I expect. I mostly feels like, yeah, she will buff couple of like punch attack type of character. So at the most, I only think like maybe kinda Yae or Dilu, Kutao. I don't think like it will works like C6 Benehet, like even like Chi with combine with Chongyun, and it's actually work. It's beyond than what I imagine, and I believe there's a lot more team that I believe I haven't discovered. I even see some people using like Xianyun itself, which is like, wow, actually she over more than what I thought. Like it just depends on your creativity. As long maybe you can utilize this plunge, then it can works. So it's just more than just Xiao Buffer. It's just like more than what I feel before, even like far away just from like Xiao Buffer itself. But of course, if you just want to talk about Xiao, it's getting better. Like right now my Xiao getting a lot better because I don't have C6 Warusan. Before, like my Xiao just like mediocre. So of course, if you want like to buff your Xiao, I encourage you to pull for Xianyun. So if you're still confused, should you pull for Xianyun or even like in the future run, then I have a couple of the recommendation that maybe can suit with your condition. So first, if you want to experience like changing in playstyle, maybe you're already tired, keep doing the same thing from your main, let's say Futao that I already mentioned, you only keep doing charge attack. Now you have variation, charge attack with plunge, which can become a refresher for you to not feel tired to do the same thing, which is good. And then second, maybe if you want to getting buff, which is from the attack, couple the character that I already mentioned, mostly in a vaporize, let's say like Benedict C6, Diluc. So if you maybe want to buff this character, then sure you can go. Or even Xiao, especially you don't have C6 Warusan that I told you before, I really recommend to full Xianyun as an alternative in here. And lastly, if you want to expand more your Furina team, then Xianyun can be the alternative because Xianyun with Furina itself, it's actually very good. So I think it can be a worthy companion for you to pair with Furina. But in the end, she is mostly only side grade. She does not really give you like fair universal like buff or fair universal value to your character. So don't feel too pressure to pull for her. So pretty much that's it. If you like this video, feel free to hit super button and like, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.